My life was a living hell, abused by an autistic teen. Now I'm the villain. My world imploded the day I finally snapped. You wouldn't believe the living nightmare I endured. The constant torment that built up over years, until I shattered into a million pieces. Now, I'm branded a bully, an abuser, and the target of online hate. But before you judge, you need to hear my story. The truth of what drove me to that breaking point. It all started with Troy. From what felt like the dawn of time. Kindergarten for Americans. He was a baby, constantly infantilized and coddled. His autism was always the excuse, the get-out-of-jail-free card for his behavior. For reasons I still can't fathom, he developed an obsession with me. I rejected him. Gently. Countless times. But no simply wasn't in his vocabulary. Then came the comments. Disgusting. Lewd comments about my body. Escalating until he was openly demanding to see my chest. His friends, in their misguided attempts to help, pressured me to give him a chance. Because no one else would be nice enough. I confided in teachers, begging for help. But they shrugged it off, saying his autism meant he didn't know any better. I was alone. His possessiveness grew into a suffocating cage. He would erupt with jealousy if I even spoke to another guy. And somehow, I was the one who got in trouble for upsetting him. My existence was reduced to catering to his every whim, forced to be his constant companion, stripped of my own identity. The groping started subtly, then became increasingly aggressive. I begged him to stop. I remember collapsing on the floor, sobbing, while teachers muttered platitudes about me being a good person for taking care of him. The groping hurt. It wasn't just the physical violation. It was the complete disregard for my boundaries, my body, my humanity. For agonizing years, I was his caretaker, his girlfriend though I never agreed to it, his best friend, his property. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't live. Then, the breaking point. I lost it. A surge of rage and desperation propelled me forward, and I punched him. Right in the nose. Now, I'm facing a 2-month isolation sentence for bullying an autistic kid. But he's not a kid. He's 16 years old. He acts perfectly normal around his friends, treating everyone else with respect. He's not intellectually impaired in any way. Now everyone hates me. I'm drowning in death threats. And the desire to disappear is overwhelming. Maybe I should have been nicer. Maybe I should have been more sympathetic. Maybe I should have just accepted being his possession. Maybe I could have been his only chance. But for the record, I don't despise autistic people. He's not a representative of them. He's just an awful person. Troy is a horrible person. Thank you for letting me vent. I didn't expect so much attention, but I appreciate the validation. To give you more context, his parents are prominent figures in our community. His dad is a third-generation Army something, and his mom is on the school board. Friends with the higher-ups. I wasn't technically his caretaker officially. I just had to be his friend. The police were notified in the past, but they just took a statement and wrote him off as mentally disabled, even though he's not. In this town, police officers have a history of letting powerful people get away with assault, especially against women. Okay. A semi-update, my parents are looking into lawyers, though we couldn't afford one before. I was too scared to come forward, convinced no one would believe me because I've always felt so neglected. But now, relatives are offering to chip in and pay for a good lawyer. In the meantime, my parents pulled me out of school, and I'm staying with my grandma for a while to recover. My aunt is also paying for therapy, something I desperately need. Thanks so much for the kind words. I hope you all miraculously wake up with more money in your bank accounts than you can imagine. Edit. I didn't expect this story to end up on TikTok so quickly. Thanks again for your support and to everyone reaching out. It means the world. This is a throwaway account, and I want to stay anonymous. But I appreciate you all so much. I realize now that I was never in the wrong. That I am a person with rights. I truly hope you all have the best days ever. You are amazing. He's actually quite good around people. Just not me, I guess. My parents genuinely tried to do something in the past, but it was a losing battle. I mean, when I usually say this story, people automatically assume I hate autistic people. I don't. Because autistic people don't do this. Autism isn't a label for assault. The label is sexual assault. Update. Firstly, thank you for your support and validation. Your words meant so much to me. Also, I thought I would explain that I hope you all miraculously wake up with more money in your bank account comment. Did question it in my. But yeah. Thank you all again. Before this update starts, I would like to say that this all occurred like I just reached my breaking point and needed to. This won't be the final update, but an update. I would also like to clear the air with my parents. Unfortunately, my parents come from a country where this stuff is normal. Not only that, but I am partially to blame. Eventually. And they tried their best to help me. Acknowledge their efforts. I'm still going to be taking time to heal from them as well. My entire family also had to go with them and express their disappointment. The best thing for now is for me to spend some time apart from them. I left the school after my parents had heard that I got into trouble seriously because of Troy again. I'm due to start my new school in 2 weeks. I have also been trying to settle at my grandma, as I just needed a fresh start with fresh people. To be honest, I have never felt so free. I have had to deal with that torment for years and years. So now I can enjoy the pleasure of walking home and not seeing him or bumping into him, so I feel great. On to the serious stuff. As I mentioned, my family basically decided to pay for a lawyer, and we are now hoping to have a lawsuit against basically everyone involved. My grandma also had a go, to put it nicely, play with the school's board for basically allowing nepotism to harass other girls. She called all of the teachers a disgrace for endangering not only me but other people, and saying how none of the teachers who allowed this deserve to even step foot into a school. This experience has also not been all sunshine in play. My parents got letters and messages basically asking for the case needs to be dropped. My parents obviously said no, but it still didn't stop the harassment. I eventually got harassed too. All of the people giving me death threats decided to go into graphic detail on what Troy wanted to do to me. Spoiler. It wasn't great. And Troy's parents showed up on my doorstep demanding to see me and talk to me, and how Troy is ready to apologize. Thankfully, by then my uncle and I had been on the way to my grandma. Regardless. And said that if they wanted to communicate, it had to be through a lawyer. Harassment didn't stop. And eventually, Troy sent me a message on a burner account, detailing all of the things he was going to do if got the opportunity, and that I should be grateful that I managed to walk away with just a. Troy also kept spewing on about how I'm nothing but a, or etc. And I should be grateful that someone so popular even looked my way. However, I know if I did that, I would no longer be myself. I would be his property forever. The thought of that makes me want to vomit. Also, his logic doesn't make sense to me anyway. I just got receipts and block. I also asked my parents to help me change my number. And I did. My grandma, being the person she is, decided that wasn't good enough and got me a whole new phone. She claims it's compensation for my trauma. Thanks, Grandma. I'm starting therapy the day after tomorrow. And I'm hoping to start family therapy in August, as truthfully, I don't know if I'm mad at my parents or should be mad. Like, is it my fault for not saying anything? The lawsuit will be a whole other process. I can update you all again. Thank you so much for your words. I hope this update is clear enough for you, and apologies if you made it this far. Now to the next story. My autistic brother spent over 400 of my hard-earned money on Lego and my mom's support. By 14. And I just can't stand it anymore. Before you go and make assumptions, let me get this out of the way. He's not like the autistic people you see on the news or online. He's a perfectly functional, intelligent person. However, he becomes violent when he doesn't get his way. Irregularly pisses. The thing with him is, these things only happen at home. Anywhere else he doesn't have any problems with accidents in his pants. What happened today drove me over the edge to the point of writing this. I woke up to him on my bed hitting me repeatedly. My parents are downstairs making breakfast, oblivious to this. He won't stop, so I shout for my mom. She comes upstairs, get him off me by rewarding him with chocolate, and proceeds to yell at me for shouting at her and confiscate my electronics for an hour. When I get home from school, all is fine. I do some homework and go on the Xbox. After around 30 minutes on the Xbox, he does the same thing. Sing hits me over and over for leaving me with no choice but go to call for my mom. She again rewards him for stopping before proceeding to tell me off and confiscate my electronics. Thanks for the rest of the day. I'm writing this with put the phone one of my friends bought for me, as this is the only way I get to use technology for over 40 minutes a day. A reminder that this is the daily routine and has been occurring for at least 5 years. However, what happened today was even worse. I shouted for my mom, but this time she did something different. I hate this. I hate my life. It feels like I'm only living to suffer. This post is purely me venting and will likely not go anywhere, but I don't care. With all that said, is there anything I can do about? I'm a minor in the UK. Play if that helps. TL Drive. And my mom supports this. Thanks for all the supportive comments. I didn't think anyone would care. Edit to 2000 up. You guys are insane. I didn't think anyone would care about this, but obviously you guys. I'm writing an update to answer some of your questions and explain my next moves. Again, thank you all so much for all of. Thank you all so much for all the support on the original post and all of your ideas in the comments. I tried to reply to every comment, but there are so many that I can't do that. Although I do read them all. I want to do it quick. Make frequently asked. Move in with another family member. Tell another family member they all live 100 plus miles away and don't believe that it's serious. You can get your money back as you're the card holder. Nope, I need a legal guardian to go into the bank with me to do that. And finally hit him back. He's a strong 6 feet tall 16-year-old. And my mom would punish me more. Next to the people who have offered me money in PMS in the comment. Thank you all so much for the offer. But I'm not going to accept anything, as I've come to realize the assault is far more serious than the money at the end of the day. Finally, onto my plan. After reading literally 100% of comments, I've decided that the best course of action is to let it out. Out of school to the police station on Wednesday. Play and show them my collected video evidence and bruises on my arms. Again, thank you all so much for your advice. Please let me know if this is what I should do or if there's a better alternative. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Go and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you. Given everything you've heard, do you think I handled this situation as best as I could? Was there anything I could have done differently to avoid this outcome? I'm desperate for honest feedback and want to know if my actions were justified in any way, given the years of relentless abuse I suffered. Please share your thoughts and advice. I'm ready to hear what you have to say.